Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Talk Your Shine. I'm your host Destiny, and this is a space where we talk about the news. I give y'all a little real talk, and of course, I give y'all some advice at the end. Today, I got on this black lipstick because y'all don't have nowhere else to wear it to, so here y'all go. Today, we're covering rising gas prices, a serious school bus incident, some big tech changes, and even how robots are stepping into the fast food industry. All right, let's get right on into it. Talk your shine, baby. Talk your shine. All right, let's start with something everybody's feeling right now: gas prices. Because if you've been to the pump lately, you already know it's hurting your pocket. Right now, gas prices across the U.S. are sitting around $4 per gallon. And in some places, it's even higher. And what's wild is even in states like Texas, where oil is huge, industry prices still aren't as low as you expect. Now, you might have heard people saying gas is being watered down. What they're really talking about is ethanol. There's currently a push to expand something called E15, that gas with 15% ethanol instead of the usual 10% ethanol is corn based, it's cheaper, and it helps stretch fuel supply. So they say. But the real reason comes down to global issues. Tension involving countries like Iran have affected oil supply, and when oil prices go up globally, gas prices follow. It's a chain reaction. So between global supply, transportation costs, and demand, everything is stacking up. And at the end of the day, we're the oops. And at the end of the day, we're the ones feeling it. We are, y'all. That little $10 is not doing it no more. Definitely gotta put at least 20 in there. The 10 is the new. Now, let's switch gears because this next story is a lot more serious. A terrifying situation in Sumter County is raising serious questions about trust and responsibility. A school bus carrying 29 kids was hit by a train after the driver ignored active railroad warnings. Investigators saying the crossing arms were down, the lights were flashing, and she still drove forward. Think about that. She seen all of those signs and she still kept going, y'all. I don't come on, girl. All those kids on that bus, that's crazy. This wasn't just a mistake. This was a decision, and I think a terrifyingly horrible decision. God saved us.
Just got hit by a train. I couldn't move because my seatbelt. God saved us.
When you're a school bus driver, you're not just driving, you're being trusted with people's children. Parents are putting their children on that bus expecting one thing, that they'll make it home safely. And in this case, that's just what was broken. Reports say students were yelling, trying to warn her as the trains were coming. Imagine being a child in that moment. I've seen some of the video, y'all, and y'all know I'm gonna add a little clip. But it was scary. Like, she had it's just like she didn't even care. Those children feared for their life. And I know those parents were upset because I would be. She neglected those children. And at that point, I feel like she just failed to take responsibility as she should be doing for those kids. The driver has been arrested and is facing multiple counts of child neglect, one for each child on board. And honestly, it could have been so much worse. Now, for safety concern, I'm glad all of those kids ended up being safe. I don't really wish jail or nothing upon anybody. I just wish people made better decisions and don't play with people's lives, like especially somebody else's children. That's terrible to do. If you sign up for a job to do something like that, I feel like you should take into consideration that you're You have somebody else's life in your hands. All right, moving on to the next. Samsung is making some big changes as of 2026, and one of them could affect how you text. They're shutting down in July of 2026. That means no more sending text messages or media through it. So if you're still using it, you'll need to switch to Google Messages, which has become the new default. So if your messages randomly stop sending one day, you shouldn't panic because Samsung is just discontinuing. And they've also discontinued experimental products like the Galaxy Z Trifold, and older phones like the Galaxy S21 are no longer getting updates. So overall, Samsung is shifting towards fewer products and more focus on what works. So I feel like they're slimming down like a lot of other other companies. I don't know if I would continue to shop with them. It kind of seems, I wouldn't say like they're discontinuing everything, but I don't know. And then what I'm not gonna say it's random. I just haven't heard about it really until it was being discontinued already. And I don't feel like they gave their customers enough warning. iPhone isn't really much better. That's who I have. But I don't know. Phone companies, let's do better. Let's do better by our people. Moving on to the next. Now you could say we're getting a glimpse into the future. In California, companies are introducing robots into the fast food kitchen. These machines can flip burgers, cook fries, and handle hot food automatically. And restaurants have already tested this. So yes, you might actually be getting food cooked by a robot. This isn't about replacing people overnight. It's about speed, efficiency, and cutting costs. But it does make you wonder, what does the future look like? I seen the way that they were flipping them burgers. So I don't think that I don't like the AI things at the, like, I went to a Wendy's or something. I don't like the AI things there. Like, I don't know. Something about AI things or computers taking my order and flipping my burgers. I don't know. That's weird. I don't want that. I don't. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. I definitely don't want AI or robots flipping my burger. Just handling everything, because who you supposed to tell, like, when your order not right? They don't. I mean, I guess they could fix it. I don't know, y'all. That's just, that just sounds crazy to me. I'm not down for that. So y'all keep that out in California.
California just made history with the world's first fully autonomous A-powered restaurant, and it is changing everything. Inside this place, robots are flipping burgers, cooking meat, and handling the grill with precision and speed. A full burger takes around 120 seconds, and no human hands are needed in the process. This restaurant, called Cali Express by Flippy, is designed to run almost entirely on automation. Even ordering has changed because smart kiosks use facial recognition to remember who you are, what you like to eat, and how you usually pay. Restaurant owners say this shift is happening because they simply cannot find enough workers for grills and fryers, which are often seen as tough and risky jobs. With over half of restaurants reporting staff shortages, experts believe many of these roles could soon be replaced by robots. Now, the big question is, are we watching the future of food or the beginning of humans being replaced in everyday jobs? What do you think? Comment below.
All right, we're going to move on down to the next. Now, let's clear some things up that's been going around online. People are saying that AI has been scanning their emails. And while that may sound alarming, they said it goes down a little differently. AI is mostly used for scanning like spam emails, filtering security, and organizing your inbox. They also said that these systems have been around for years. What's new is tools like which can help you summarize emails or suggest replies. That's what's new, and that's what the confusion is. But to be clear, this is automated. It's not about people reading your emails. So they're saying not to panic, but I understand, yeah, don't panic. But also, if this has been going on for years, why are we just now hearing about AI being in emails? And I don't remember too many consent forms saying that I did do that. But y'all know I just kind of skipped past the terms and agreements. Just accept. And I need to start reading. We all should start reading because that's a little crazy. Like, yeah, okay, cool, you can summarize my emails, but just if you have anything crazy on emails, I wouldn't be doing that any longer. I don't know. It's not a private place. Moving on.
If you have a Gmail account, you're going to want to listen up and tap in because you're going to need to know this information. If you have a Gmail account, your emails are now being scanned by AI. And the crazy part is most people have no clue that this is happening. Google recently allowed its AI model, Google Gemini, to scan and analyze all of your emails. This includes, but is not limited to, private conversations, attachments, financial documents, tax information, all kinds of things. But the good news, and the part that nobody tells you, is that it takes less than 20 seconds to turn it off. Let me show you. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to go into your Google account, click on settings, and then make sure you click on see all settings. The next thing you want to do is make sure you're here under the general tab in the settings. The next thing you're going to want to do is come down here to smart features, and you see where it says turn on smart features. You want to make sure that you turn that off. And now it's going to ask you to turn off and reload. Go ahead and click that. Then again, under the general tab, you're going to scroll all the way down under the Google Workspace and Smart Features. You're going to go ahead and click on Manage Workspace and Smart Feature Settings. Now, these two things here, you're going to want to toggle these to off and go ahead and hit save. That's it, easy peasy. If you found this information helpful, make sure that you're following this page for more AI gems. And don't forget to save this video and share this with somebody who uses a Gmail account.
To the next segment. Actually, we're not moving on down to the next topic. Now, this next one is a little intense. It was a massive warehouse fire in California. It's a little crazy in California this week. That's been investigated for arson. Authorities say an employee may have intentionally set a fire to paper products inside the building. And in a video, a voice believed to be a suspect said, "All you had to do was pay us a livable wage." I'm sorry, I did not quote that correctly. "All you had to do was pay us enough to live." The damage reached hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the motive hasn't been officially confirmed, but it has sparked a large conversation about wages and workers' compensation.
You know, if you're not going to pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do. Should have paid us enough to live. You know, we may not get paid enough to live, but these bitches dirt cheap. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
Now, the motive has not officially been confirmed, but it has been sparked. Now, the motive hasn't been officially confirmed, but it has sparked a large conversation about wages and working conditions. I've seen a lot of stuff lately about how people are reacting to being underpaid. And I don't necessarily say, yeah, everybody burned down a building, but what is it going to take for companies and the world to listen? Hey, we're underpaid. We need help. We just want to make enough so that we can live. Like, companies aren't hearing that. The world isn't hearing that. And I'm sorry that it's taking such drastic measures, but maybe we should listen up and maybe we can pay our workers a livable wage. That just sounds like, I don't know, maybe the least a company could do. All right, y'all, we're going to move on down to the next segment. This is actually the next segment this time. Ooh, I'm just playing. Talk your shine, baby. Talk your shine. Now I want to get into something really important. There's a growing concern about what young people are consuming, especially energy drinks and things like vape products. A 17-year-old girl named Larissa Rodriguez tragically passed away in a case linked to high caffeine intake. According to reports, it involved heart complications associated with large amounts of caffeine. The case is still part of an ongoing legal situation, but it highlights a bigger issue. Energy drinks can contain higher levels of caffeine, not recommended for teens. And then there's vaping. Y'all, I don't know what's going on. I have not been able to talk this whole episode. And then there's vaping products that are often colorful, flavored, and easy to hide. And whether intentional or not, they appeal to younger audiences. So this isn't about being scared or anything, but it is about awareness. And it's more about parents being aware. You just make sure you know what your kids are consuming. Just because it's colorful and it lights up, or I don't know, it makes noise or it smells good, doesn't necessarily mean it is good. And a lot of companies, which I think is an evil thing to do, market to kids, market to minors, and sell stuff, make it look trendy so that they'll buy it, or that their parents will buy it just because it's something that they've seen on TV, or just because it's something that they thought was, ooh, cool, kind of like the toy, you know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of what you're buying for yourself and for your kids. I've seen a lot of teenage girls, a lot of teenagers in general buy the Alanis and other energy drinks, and I don't think that they should be consuming energy drinks. I think a little bit of caffeine, yeah, and some soda or something sometime, yeah, that's okay, but an energy drink every day, or sending them off to school with the energy drink, I don't know, y'all. Just be mindful and just think about what it could do to your kids and their hearts and their bodies in the future. We're going to move on down to the next segment. Talk your shine, baby. Talk your shine. All right, y'all. The advice tonight is pretty short and sweet, but I pretty much want to tell y'all to pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you, the decisions you're making, the people you're with. Pretty much everything we talked about tonight, every situation we talked about was about decisions people were making, awareness, and the lack of awareness. And I'm not saying, be paranoid or, I don't know, just be looking over your shoulder all the time, but just be present and pay attention. Ask questions, stay informed, and don't ignore red flags, whether it's the environment, your habits, or even the people around you. If you have a gut feeling around, if it's got you feeling off, just follow your first mindset. No matter the situation, no matter the person, you have these gut feelings for a reason. You have these signals for a reason. Just please pay attention. Be aware of your surroundings. Stay prepared. And just keep your head up. All right, y'all. That's pretty much all I have for tonight. I thank y'all for joining in. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, y'all. Have a good night.